All right, just rolled up to a farm where I'm going to hang my last stand in preparation for the upcoming 2024 season. The soybeans are really starting to pop. We drilled about a week and a half ago, right before some rain, and the timing was awesome. And on the outside perimeter, I have clover that's also starting to pop, and I'll mow that here in about another week or so. And I'm gonna get out, hang this last set, and then put some cameras over the mineral sites that I've established. The Whitetail Institute 30-06, and they're really starting to pound that too. So I'll put some cameras out and then check them in about 6 weeks. So I'm gonna get to it. I'm in here, it's the end of May, and I'll be hanging my final stand for the season on the far east end of this soybean and clover plot. But before I do that, I want to touch on a few things that's really important. So, access is everything. It doesn't matter how good your property. It doesn't matter how many acres you have. You can quickly burn out a pretty large area if you show your hand in the game of chess, right? So, you have to do a lot of things right in order to get within 15, 20, 25 yards of mature bucks. So the stuff that I talk about on my YouTube channel and on Instagram are tips designed for the hunter that wants to harvest big mature deer, 4, 5, 6-year-old animals. So you have to pay attention to the little details in order to be successful. So on this stand right here, I want to talk about bulletproof access. And by definition of bulletproof, you're able to get in and get out without the deer knowing that they're being hunted. And while you're on the stand, the deer don't know that you're there. It's relatively quick to get in a lot of cases, relatively quiet. And you're downwind of where the deer bed and where they feed. So it does you no good to be able to get into an afternoon setup, like for example on this food plot here, let's say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, early afternoon, only to after sunset have to walk through that same food source and bust out every deer in the field, right? The young does and young bucks will tolerate a lot more of that than mature bucks. But even the 3rd, 4th time doing that, the younger deer kind of catch on to what you're doing. So you want to be able to get in without spooking the deer. While you're on stand, you don't want to spook the deer. And when you leave, you don't want to spook the deer. So a bulletproof stand is one that you can check all the boxes. And on this location here, I'm able to walk in and exit through the creek, right? So I'm able to stay down below a steep bank. I'm downwind of where they feed. I'm downwind of where they bed. And when I leave, I only have to take maybe 4 or 5 steps and I'm down the bank and out of sight. So places like that. Now if you don't have water access, you can use steep ditches, you can use terrain that's really steep or rocky that deer would just prefer to not travel through. And so you can use that for your ingress and egress. Sometimes when you're on the stand, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to get into your stand location, I get that. But if while on stand the wind shifts for more than just a moment, but switches 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and starts to blow from your back and face and move in the direction of where the deer bed and where they feed, that's a problem, right? So you have to have the discipline, the unpopular decision, the uncomfortable decision to get down sometimes when the wind shifts. So that's how you preserve your stands and keep them good throughout the season. All right, another tip is to hang your stands early. There's nothing worse than hanging your tree stands or putting out ground blinds a couple days before the season or even a couple weeks before the season. Deer need time to acclimate to the disturbance that you make. So today is 24th of May and the turkey season ended a couple weeks ago. So I'm getting ready to hang my last permanent stand for the summer, and I'll be staying out of these areas up until probably 4th of July weekend, maybe to come out and hang some cameras over some mineral deposits and food plots and that type of thing, and see what we have to deal with here this upcoming season. But I keep one stand at the ready in the garage in case I need to be mobile, and that's really important. I have a .75 Lone Wolf custom gear stand that I use for that, and it's perfect. It's very light, compact, safe. But I've been hunting out Lone Wolf stands since 1990, and those are the stands that I rely on for my safety and for success. But whatever stand you use, you want to put them out there or ground blind months, in my opinion, months before the season opens, not days or weeks. So I have this stand right here is perfectly positioned on the northwest corner. So with a southeast, south, or south-southwest wind, I'm downwind of both the food source and the bedding area. And when I drop down, I'll be taking maybe 4 or 5 steps to the bank and dropping down out of sight, and I'll be in the water and I'll be completely scent free. As long as I go slow, I won't make any noise, and off I go. So it's really important to hang these stands early so that you keep the element of surprise in your favor. Another thing that I want to demonstrate is the power of a smoke bomb, and I've illustrated this a few months back on a client management property. So it's been a while, but I wanted to demonstrate this again. This is a military grade smoke bomb, and the color is purple, so it's very easy to see. And I want to show what my scent stream is doing and how it's blowing from this food source towards the creek. Now, it's May 24th, it's warm, and we have a south-southwest wind. So for the first 6 to 8 weeks of season here in Kentucky, we're going to have some type of southerly wind. So the wind is going to be basically blowing in this same direction. If during the afternoon, early evening hours, the wind starts to shift 90 degrees or maybe 180 degrees, I'm going to get down as quickly as possible. So I talked about that earlier, but this smoke bomb is going to demonstrate what my scent stream is doing.